Good morning, children. So today we are going to study the next topic of our first chapter, the composition of matter. So what is a matter made up of? We know that all the substances are made up of matter. Everything is made up of matter. Matter are those things which has a mass and occupy a space. Anything that occupy a space and has mass is known as matter. Then what is this matter made up of? That we are going to study in this topic. Okay, so matter is ultimately composed of elements. So all matter are made up of elements. So what is an element? Element means a substance that cannot be split into simpler substances by a chemical means or chemical reaction is called an element. That means we cannot split it again. For example, I will show you one example here. Hydrogen, it is an element. Okay, hydrogen is an element. Then oxygen, O, is an element. We cannot split it into two halves, or we cannot separate them again. This is the smallest part. I told you yesterday, if we are taking a sheet of paper, we are cutting it into small pieces. From that one small pieces we will take. Again if we are cutting it, then from that one small piece we are taking. Again if we are cutting, and finally last we will get a very minute particle that even we cannot see through our eyes also. That one we cannot cut it further, or we cannot split it by any physical change or by any chemical change. That type of substances are known as elements. What are elements? Elements are substances that cannot be split into simpler substances, okay, by any physical or chemical method. For example, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, sulfur, iron and copper are elements. Okay, many are there. At least some you have to remember. Give two example of element. Which example you will give? Hydrogen element, oxygen element, nitrogen element, like that any element you can write. Elements are represented by symbols. We will represent with a symbol. How we will represent? Hydrogen element is represented by the letter capital letter H. Nitrogen element is represented by capital letter N. From their first letter. Hydrogen's first letter is H, no? So that H, capital letter H we will take. Then nitrogen's first letter is N, so capital letter N we will take. Oxygen symbol is O, capital letter O. Capital letter should be there. We should not use small letter. If you are writing small letter, your answer is wrong. Okay. Then carbon symbol is capital letter C. Sulfur symbol is capital letter iron, and iron, I-R-O-N, iron. Iron we will not use capital letter I, because we have iron, you have the Latin name. Iron is first invented by in another place where they have given a Latin name for iron, that is ferrum. F-E-R-R-U-M, ferrum. From that F we have taken F and E. Fe we have taken for iron. Okay, Fe, iron. And copper, it have a Latin name cuprum. From that Cu we have taken. Okay, first letter is always capital letter, second letter is small letter. Okay, by heart the symbol of all these elements: hydrogen H, nitrogen N, oxygen O, carbon C, sulfur S, iron Fe, copper Cu. Always first letter is capital letter. If there is a second letter, we should use small letter only. Don't use capital letter for the second letter. Okay, when two or more elements combine together, for example, hydrogen is combining with oxygen, H plus O, what we will get? Water, H2O. Then carbon plus O, carbon dioxide. Okay, nitrogen plus O, nitrogen dioxide. So if two atoms or two elements are joining together, what we will get? We will get a compound. See, example. Hydrogen plus oxygen, they are combining together. Okay, what we will get? Hydrogen and oxygen are combining together. We will get a compound called H2O. Hydrogen is an element, oxygen is an element. When two elements are combining together, we will get a compound. Okay, we will get a compound. Compound, can we separate a compound? Yes, we can separate compound into simpler particle, simpler substance, but element we cannot separate. Elements are indivisible, but compounds are divisible. We can divide compound into smaller substances. Okay. a compound can be split into simpler substance by a chemical reaction. By a chemical reaction, we can split a compound into smaller substances. Okay, a substance that can be split into simpler substances by a chemical means is called compound. What is a compound? One definition is combination of element is called compound. Okay, two or more elements combine together to form a compound. Another definition is a substance that can be split into different substances by chemical reaction is called compound. Example, H2O, water, carbon dioxide, etc. Okay. For example, hydrogen combine with oxygen to form water. So, water is a compound as it can be split into hydrogen and oxygen. So, if we cut water not with a knife, by some another chemistry method, in laboratory we can split water into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Okay. Carbon dioxide can be split into carbon and oxygen. Okay. So, this is an element and a compound. And now we are going to study the next topic, atoms and molecule. What is an atom and what is a molecule? Atoms means indivisible particle. Okay. Elements, another name. Okay. If we are going on subdividing an element, we will arrive at a part that cannot be divided further. So, if we find element we cannot see through our eyes. Again, if we are using any nanoscopic, not microscopic, smaller than that we can use nanoscopic. From that element we can see, the smallest part we can see. And using any technique, if we will divide that element, we will get a very minute one smaller thing that we cannot divide it again. That is an atom. What is an atom? The indivisible part of an element. The indivisible part of an element is called atom. What is an atom? Atoms are the indivisible part of an element, or the simplest part of an element is called atom. Okay. So, atoms will not exist. Atoms will not exist freely in nature because it is very unstable. It will disappear very fastly because it is very indivisible. So, it will disappear very fastly. So, but atoms will take part in chemical reaction. Atoms will react with any another. For example, hydrogen atom is combining with chlorine atom. We will get hydrochloric acid. Okay. So, an atom are the smallest part of an element which are not independent in nature, that will not be free in nature, but they can be taking part in, they will be taking part in a chemical reaction. Okay. So, atom is defined as the smallest part of an element that can take part in a chemical reaction. So, atoms is the smallest part of an element that take part in a chemical reaction. Okay. So, atoms generally does not exist independently. Okay. Then how they will exist? Two or more atoms will combine together. They will always join together. If one atom is there, another atom is there, they will come and join together and form a molecule. So, what is a molecule? Group of atom is called molecule. Group of atoms are called molecule. A molecule is capable of independent existence. Atom will not exist independently, but a molecule will exist independently. Understand? Then it can stand on its own. That means it can stand free in nature. A molecule of an element is made up of atoms of same element. So, a molecule can exist freely in nature. Okay. So, a molecule of a compound is made up of atoms of different elements. So, atoms, a molecule of an element, for example, hydrogen molecule. Okay. For example, one hydrogen atom is present and one more hydrogen atom is present. So, same atoms will combine together to form one compound. Okay. One element. Molecule of an element is made up of same element. So, they will combine together to form one compound called hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen gas. So, for another example, O, one O is there, another O is there. They will join together to form O2, the oxygen gas that we are breathing. Okay. So, molecule means it is a combination of one element, oxygen molecule. Same element will be present like O and O2, H and H2, Cl and Cl, Cl2, like that, chlorine gas. But what is a compound? Compound means a combination of elements that we have studied at the beginning of today's class. Compound means a combination of element. Combination of element is called compound. Combination of atom is called molecules. Okay. Then a molecule is the smallest part of an element or a compound that is capable of independent existence. Or in simple way we can write a molecule is the group of element which can exist free in nature. Okay. Then remember that atoms combine in a fixed number to form a molecule. The atoms will always combine in a fixed number. For example, oxygen gas O2, it will not be O3 or O4. Oxygen is always O2 only. It is a fixed number. A fixed number will be there for all molecules. Oxygen molecule means O2 only. Hydrogen molecule means H2 only. Okay. It will not be H3 or H4 or H5 or H10. A fixed number will be there in all molecules. The atoms will always combine in a fixed number. For example, H2 for hydrogen, that 2 is a fixed number. O2 for oxygen, that 2 is a fixed number. Understand? A fixed number will be also there, will be always there to form a molecule. Okay? The molecule will be represented by a molecular formula. Okay, for example, H combined with another hydrogen to form hydrogen molecule. That all now only I told. So, a hydrogen molecule is represented by the formula H2. It is a fixed number. Thus, molecular nitrogen, oxygen and chlorine are represented by N2, O2, Cl2, etc. Okay, it will not be any another number. There is a fixed number for a molecule. However, a molecule of ozone layer, you have studied ozone. Ozone's formula is O3. That means 3 oxygens will be there. That is a fixed number. Let us see how a molecule of a compound is represented by a formula. How a formula is formed. 2 atoms of hydrogen will combine with 1 atom of oxygen to form a formula of water. See, what is the formula of water? H2O. How water formula is formed? How the formula of water is formed? 2 hydrogen will be there and 1 oxygen will be there. They will combine together to form H2O. Okay. H2O. What is H2O? H2O means water. What is the formula of water? H2O. How we can say the number of atoms? 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen is joining together to form water. Another one is NH3. NH3 means ammonia. So in ammonia, 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogens are there. That is a fixed number. Okay. So like this way we will write the formula. Remember that if the sample of an element or a compound is pure, then the formula of its molecule does not change. Okay. This means the number of combined atoms are fixed. That much only. In an element, in a compound, the number of atoms will be always fixed. For example, in H2O, there will be always 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. It will not be H3O or H4O. Okay. If a compound is pure like water, the number of atoms present in it will be always fixed. Okay. So this is the diagram. So some atoms, hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, etc. This is all imaginary colors. These all are not the proper color. Okay. Hydrogen, H2. 2 hydrogen atoms will join together to form H2. 2 nitrogen atoms will join together to form N2. 2 oxygen atoms will join together to form oxygen molecules. Okay, group of atoms are called molecules. So here how many atoms are there? 2 atoms are present, right? 2 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of nitrogen, 2 atoms of oxygen. So they are known as molecules. Then if different atoms, see blue color was hydrogen atoms. So different atoms are present. Okay, that is a compound. Okay, group of atoms are called molecule and a group of molecules are called compound, or different elements combined together to form a molecule. Form a compound. Okay, and the last topic of our chapter, what hold together atoms and a molecule? How an atom or how a molecule is formed? So a force of attraction. There are forces of attraction that hold together the atoms in a molecule and the molecules in matter. We have studied that a matter is made up of small tiny particle called molecule. There is an intermolecular force of attraction. We have studied in the first topic. There is a force of attraction between 2 molecules. Because of that force of attraction, the atoms and the molecules are not going anywhere. They are staying there only. Why? Because of the force of attraction. So what hold together atom and molecules? What is holding? Force of attraction is holding the molecules. So The force that hold any two atom in a molecule is called chemical bond. So what is the force of attraction? Another name, chemical bond. Okay, chemical bond is the name for force of attraction. You have already learned that molecules are held together in matter by intermolecular force of attraction or cohesion. We have studied the same, right? Molecules are held together by force of attraction or cohesion. One should remember that a chemical bond is much stronger than intermolecular force. Chemical bond means how it is formed by chemical reaction. Intermolecular force means it is simply present in molecules. When we heat, it will evaporate. Okay, or it will melt into liquid. So intermolecular force is weaker, but chemical bond is stronger because chemical bond is formed by chemical reactions. So the atoms are held together in a molecule far more stronger than molecules in matter. That all no need. Okay, so that means atoms are present more in molecules, not in matter, because of the force of attraction or because of the chemical bonding. Thus, it is very difficult to separate the atoms from a molecule. We cannot separate hydrogen gas into H and H. It is very difficult. Okay, why? Because of the chemical bond. Chemical bond is more stronger than force of attraction or cohesion. So our chapter is completed. Go through the points to remember topics. Okay, points to remember, all of you read, because same thing what all I have explained here, that is given. Okay, so your objective questions, your fill in the blanks, your true or false, and your question answers, that I will be giving tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be giving. Okay, and tomorrow we will start our next chapter also. How I will give means, I will give tomorrow 2 sessions. Tomorrow 2 lectures will be there. One lecture will be our notes that you have to write in your notebook. Remaining one more video will be there, that will be our second chapter. Okay, when you are free time, during your free time, go through this video, write the notes in your notebook. Okay, all of you take care. Thank you.